If you've been following the development of Halo Infinite and the monthly updates that 343 has been doing, you probably have already seen or have watched other videos in which people are discussing the updates that we've gotten recently. Specifically today, I want to talk about one of the updates that confirms something that I wanted to see in Infinite for a long time now. The idea of Far Cry-esque outposts scattered among the ring. Now, on the surface level, it doesn't seem like this is really going to contribute much except for, an outpost there that you can attack and clear out, maybe save a few regions, put like Marines in a stronghold, something like that. Nothing too extraordinary or revolutionary to the gameplay formula. However, there's an implication here that I feel could really shake up Halo Infinite and add a much needed feature to the Halo franchise. You see, ever since combat evolved, there's been a very light element of stealth in Halo. Think about all those areas that have sleeping grunts, patrolling jackals, and elites. Now, I think back immediately my personal experiences with Assault on the Control Room, or even some parts of 2 Betrayals, where I can sneak through these small rooms that connect the different canyons, instead of just going guns blazing, and it's some of the most fun I've had in Halo. Going through these rooms completely quiet, either taking everyone out without being seen, or sneaking by without touching a hair on any alien's head. And it's not like the gameplay is catering towards that. It's not like there are stealth systems in place here. It's not like it's going to be Metal Gear where there's different levels of detection, reflex mode, different stances that really matter all that much. Nah, if there's cover that you can crouch behind so an enemy doesn't see you through a window, you can do that. If you want to sneak up behind an enemy and kill them with one shot, you can do that. But it's not necessarily encouraged or discouraged, it's just there. And that's what I mean by a light stealth system. Now, what makes these sections so enjoyable to just kind of sneak through or go through assassinating everyone is the fact that they are so scarce. You see, in Combat Evolved, the majority of the time you're in firefights. That's the key gameplay loop. That's the 30 seconds of fun that Bungie developed. You go in, you manage your weapons, shields, health, you take out the enemies. However, having these little areas that break apart the intense firefights, that are completely optional if you want to put in the extra effort to sneak through or to take out everyone without firing a single round, I think that's great. It adds pacing and allows you to control whether or not you want to keep up with that high intensity action, or if you want to slow it down and give yourself a different kind of challenge. And while sections like this did exist in Halo 2 and 3, they didn't come as notable to me until Halo Reach. There are some sections, specifically, first thing that comes to mind is the mission New Alexandria. When you're entering the hospital building, I think it is, you enter the room and it's just a bunch of grunts there sleeping, an engineer floating around, and then patrols of jackals downstairs. Now with Reach, they added in assassinations. Now, here's the thing about assassinations. When you're playing through stealthily and getting the drop on an enemy while no enemies are shooting at you, it's awesome. Seeing your Spartan snap a neck or jam a knife into a grunt skull, I'll never get tired of that. However, during combat or during multiplayer, when I'm getting an assassination 9 times out of 10, it's going to result in my death, because I'm locked into this long animation that gives the enemies or other players around me ample time to just shoot me to shit. However, I feel like in Halo Infinite we can implement this in a much better way. You see, these outpost areas are perfect for experimentation and different styles of gameplay. If you want to snipe the base and then go in guns blazing, cool. If you want to ride in with rockets and a warthog clearing out the base with a ton of Marines, that's cool too. But what if we also had the option to come at these areas stealthily? And what if, while we were sneaking around, rather than just bunting a grunt with my sniper rifle, I could do an assassination? But the assassinations would only be active while I'm in this stealth mode. So that way, while I'm in combat, if I hit someone in the back of the head, it's just going to be an instant kill, and I don't have to get into that drawn-out animation. But then in that light stealth section, if I'm sneaking around, I'm rewarded for putting in that extra effort of sneaking up behind the elite, or the jackal, or the sleeping grunt, and I get a quicker animation of the chief just snapping a neck or stabbing a grunt, elite, or jackal, or brute. So you keep in that bare bones kind of stealth, so stealth doesn't become the dominant strategy in Halo, because honestly, if stealth became the dominant strategy, that would kind of ruin Halo and what it's all about. Halo ultimately is about the firefights that you get into and how you handle the sandbox to get through it. However, if we kept this bare-bones stealth, completely optional in completely segmented sections like these outposts, and rewarded players with cool assassination animations and made it more of a skill-based challenge rather than another proper approach, I think we could have something pretty goddamn interesting on our hands. And again, I really want to stress how this isn't a far departure from what already exists in Halo. Active camo sections where the enemy starts off completely unaware of your presence and where you could go through without them ever becoming aware to your presence, and assassinations being implemented as a reward for being able to sneak up behind a player. Stealth has always been a part of Halo, a very underrated background part of it. However, I feel like in Infinite, if they allowed players to take advantage of certain power-ups, certain playstyles, and certain situations, you could really expand on this slept-on style of gameplay, and really make it a more rewarding experience for those players who want that extra challenge. Now, I don't want to see like suppressed weapons, at least not some that completely break the balancing of the gameplay. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't want Halo Infinite to go full Far Cry where I get like a 50 BMG, slap a suppressor, the biggest scope on it, and I can just break outposts and break missions and just break the entire game with this one-shot kill weapon while the enemies are completely oblivious to me. I don't even want like a stealth pistol that forces me to have to get close, like in Metal Gear, like the trank gun. Like, I don't want it to become a stealth game. I just want to be able to explore and expand upon the stealth aspects that are there in the background. So keep it in the background, but allow me to have fun with it, if that makes any sense. Because I truly believe while it shouldn't be the front and center aspect of the gameplay, stealth in Halo can be really fun and really rewarding. Make your own kind of fun sort of scenario. And I feel like if just these little changes were made or added into it, we could get rid of assassinations being annoying during combat, and we can make those sneaking sections a lot more rewarding for players that put in the effort. But what do you guys think? Have you noticed these stealth sections before in Halo, or were you too busy running and gunning your way all the way through? Either way, there's no wrong way to play it. I just want to know, do you think these aspects should be expanded upon? Do you think it should remain purely in the background with no attention or effort added to it? What are your thoughts on stealth or the possibility of stealth in Halo Infinite? Let me know down in the comments below. Anyways, this has been Pliskin, over and out.